Hello, good morning. So I have prepared the topology wherein um, you're going to configure the routers, the switches, and also the PC. So here's all the components that I have already prepared, and let's start first with our wiring. So basically, let's start with the PCs going to our switches. So okay. So this activity consists of basic configuration and wirings, as well as your IP addressing. So you are given with the IP address that is listed here, 192.168.0.1, 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. And on the router side, you're given 10.10.10.0 slash 30, 20.20.20.0 slash 30, and 30.0 slash 30 for our routers. Now, the next is I'm going to put a cable from our switches going to our router. Okay. I'm assigning all the wire from the switch on port gigabit Ethernet 01, and for the routers to be uniform, I assign it to the gig 000. So for visibility, it is best if we could do or us make all the ports unhidden. So always show port label in logical workspace. That's just check this one so that all your ports will be shown. Okay, that's it. Now let's put some wire from our router. Oops. Okay, so as you can see, one of our router already exhausted its port. Okay, so if this is the case, what I suggest is that you turn off the router, get port here, then base the SF for Cat5 for GLC-T, and drag this to the interface. So let me zoom in this one. So just drag this port going to this one, and after that turn on the router, then do it as well here on the second router, and turn it on there. So after that, you will notice that another port has been shown. Okay, so here's your topology. The next action that I'll be doing is that I will be assigning IP address to each and every port, so that when I configure, I will not be uh, thinking for those IP address anymore. This is here. So the best practice is that assign the IP address for the router. First usable IP address to the router, second usable IP address to the switch, and all other ports to the PCs. So I'll start with the router, since I'll be using 192.168.0.0/24. So 192.168.0.1/24, and for the switch is 192.168.0.2. 192.168.1.24. Okay, that's my IP for my router and my switch. Okay, so I'll put it beside the port, but for the switch, since we're going to use VLAN, uh, just put it beside the switch. Now I'll put IP address for my PCs. So 192.168.0. Maybe 10/24. So next is 192.168.0/20/24 for the second PC. Okay, so I have now IP address for my PC, I have no IP address for my switch, and I already have an IP address for my router. Now, next is I'll do the same method to all of the uh, components here. So I'll put 1.1 here /25. For the switch is 192.168.1.2/25. For the PC3 is 192.168.1.10/25, so that it will be uniform. And for PC4 is 192.168.1.20/25. Okay, there. Let me arrange this one so that it will not be messy. Okay, there. So I'll do the same with the other uh, PC and routers here. So for the router is 192.168.2.1/26, 192.168.2.2/26, 192.168.2.10/26, 192.168.2.20/26. So for PC5 and PC6, here's the IP address for the switch there. So next is for the router 4. I'll put the IP address. Okay. There you go. So any other IP address that we need to assign? Yes, the routers above. So this is 10.10, it's 10.10.10.1/30, and on this port is 10.10.10.2/30. The other port is 20.20.20.1/30 and 20.20.20.2/30. The next one is 30.30.30.1/30 and 30.30.30.2/30. Okay, so we're done. We have now all our IP address for each and every router and for each interfaces. Okay, let's do the basic configuration. I'll start with PC number 1. Go to IP address 192.168.0.10. So since this is slash 24, and don't forget to add the default gateway. Since our default gateway is the router, I'll put the IP address of the router here. Okay, same with PC number 2. Since PC number 2 is 20, default gateway is 255.255.255.0, that is slash 24, and don't forget to put the IP address of our router in for the default gateway. Okay, PC1 and PC2 is complete. Now I'll go to PC number 3, go to the desktop IP configuration, and I'll put the IP address. So since this is 10 and slash 25 is 128, and don't forget to put the IP address of our router, which is this one, and you're done, right? And for PC number 4, since we assigned an IP address of 192.168.1.20/25 here, don't forget to put 128 there and the default gateway. So we're done configuring PC number 4. Now let's move on to PC number 5. Now we assigned 192.168.2.10 here, so I'll just put that one. This is slash 26. So what is slash 26? It's 128 plus 64. 192, right there. And don't forget the default gateway. Done. So for PC number 6, we assign that 20, so 192. Okay, done. Now PC number 7, we assign 3.10 here, 3.10. So slash 27 is 224. Okay, and done. Same with PC number 16. This 3.20, we assign 3.20 here, and 224. Don't forget the default gateway, and done. Okay, so we are done configuring our PCs, our PC down here. The next option, or the next device that we're going to configure is our switch. Okay, so in reality, we need a console cable. Connect to your PC to RS-232 and connect it to the console cable. Now access the PC, go to terminal emulator and click OK. Now this is now what you can see in your switch. Okay, there. So accessing the switch, what we need to do is use enable command, configure terminal, and the first thing that we need to configure is our hostname. Switch number 1, done. Okay, the next is the banner. Banner MOTD. So I put a banner here, so it's a warning, and I'll just paste. Hold on. So my banner is warning. There, banner MOTD and the warning. Okay, done. What else? Enable password. So I'll just copy my enable password here, copy it. So enable password, and I'll just paste it here. Done. Now let's put also a password for our line console and line VTY. So line con 0. So password, just post your password there, and don't forget to log in. Done. Now let's move on to our line VTY. Line VTY 0 to 15. Password, paste it again, and don't forget to put login. Now done. So to encrypt this one, use service password encryption. Okay, done. What else? IP address for switch number 1, we need to put IP address. So interface VLAN 1, so IP address is 192.168.0.2, 255.255.255.0, and no shot. Okay, VLAN 1 is now up. Don't forget to put your default gateway. So IP default gateway is 192.168.0.1. That's the IP address of our router. Enter. So what else? I guess that's all. So let me just copy my command for faster configuration. So that one, my banner, okay. What else? Enable password. So this is another way so that we could configure our router or switch faster. So after you configure the first one, after you configure the first first switch, you can so it's the same here. Okay, and exit. And don't forget this one. Okay, so since we already have our basic configuration, I'm just putting all the necessary config that I need for the next router. So the next next switch will be 1 and 1 to 8, right? So no shut, then exit. Don't forget your default gateway, copy, so that when we configure our next router, next switch or device, it will be more faster. Okay, so since this is all for our switch, so as you can see, the switch already up and running. Let's move on to the next switch, which is switch number 2. I'll put again another console from my PC, going to that switch, and open my terminal there. So enter the configuration mode. Now for faster configuration, I'll just copy it from my notes, paste it, enter, then copy again and enter. Now for the enable password, copy again and enter. For the line console, copy and paste. So as you can see, it is more faster. Okay. Service password encryption. Next, our IP address and our default gateway. So we can add them straight. So it's up. Done. We're done with our switch number 2. How can we test? Go exit, enter. So there you go. See? Oh, so that's working. Now to our switch number 3. Open our terminal emulator. Enter the configuration terminal, global configuration mode. For this time, I would like to copy it all, but I want to tweak some settings. It's 192 and 2.1 there. And this is switch number 3 now. I'll just copy this configuration and enter. Okay, so as you can see, we're done configuring our switch. Now to our switch number 4, console. So since this is switch number 4 already, I'll just change some configuration. So this is 3.2, this is 224 and 3.1. So here's my configuration for switch number 4. Open the terminal emulator, go to the global configuration mode and paste your configuration, and that's done. Easy, right? So how can we test? Go to command prompt, ping the IP address of your switch 192.168.0.2 for switch number 1, and this should work. See, it is working. Now let's configure our router now. So let's configure our router. This time we'll just remove some of our configuration here and let's tweak it. Router 1. Okay, so enable password, all of stuff are the same, so we're going to keep that one, router 1. And so the first method that you to configure your equipment is by using the console, but in Packet Tracer you can configure the device by going to the CLI. Here's the CLI and enter. See, let's go to configuration mode and let's paste the configuration. So that's your basic configuration already configured, right? Now let's do that to other router before assigning the IP address. Okay, so paste that one and that's complete. For our router number 3, it's the same method. There we go, paste. Okay, and for router number 4, paste. Okay, done. So if you will notice, it's already now router number 4. This one, router number 3. This one, router number 2, and this one is router number 1. Now, let's go back to router number 1. Uh, the first thing that we need to configure is the connection from our router going to switch number 1, and that is connected via gig 000. So let's enter gig 000, and we are going to put assign the IP address. So IP address, it's 192.168.0.1, and the default gateway 0. Enter, and don't forget the no shut command, and it's now up. As you can see, from red it turns from red to green, and after few minutes, the connection from your router going to your switch will now be established. Okay, so the next one is the connection from router 1 going to router number 2, and this is our IP address that we are going to use. So enter gigabit 001 IP address, and input the IP address 10.10.10.1, the default the subnet mask 255.255.255.252, and hit the no shut command. So the link is up. So exit. So we're done with router number 1. So as you can see, even if the state is up, the indication is still red or still down. So we can issue the do show IP interface brief. As you can see, gigabit 001 is up, but the protocol is down. Okay, there. The status is up, but the protocol is down. It means that one of the interface is not yet configured. Okay, so let's close this one. Let's move to router number 2. Since we're already done with the basic configuration, just let me know if I've missed something. Let's configure gigabit 001 first. Interface gigabit 001, and let's assign the IP address 10.10.10.2. Since I already assigned that one in router 1, I'll use that 2 in router number 2. So put the subnet mask. Don't forget that both should have the same subnet mask. If one of them is not correct, they will not establish the connection. Okay, and input the no shut command. So as you can see, the gigabit status changed to up, and you will notice that the green arrow or the indication is now green. Okay, next let's configure our gigabit 000 interface gigabit 000. So IP address, what IP address that we're going to use? It's our IP address from our local area network down here. So 192.168.1.1. So put the subnet mask, and that is 128, and no shut. Don't forget the no shut command. Okay, next, another interface is from router 2 going to router 3. So interface gigabit 002, and IP address, let's put the IP address. For this one, we're going to assign the 20.1 IP address is 20.20.20.1, 255.255.255.252, and issue the no shut command, and done. We're done with router number 2. So 2 more routers remaining, and we're done configuring our topology. So let's go to router number 3. So for router number 3, as you can see, there are 3 connections again, but first let's start with the gigabit 002, so that we can see that the connection from router 2 to router 3 is established. So interface gigabit 002 and IP address 20.20.20.2 and the subnet mask of /30 and no shot. As you can see, the connection is now established. And let's move on to gigabit 000 and assign the IP address. So the IP address is from this network, the 192.168.2.0/26. So that would be 192.168.2.1 and subnet mask is 255.255.255.192 and issue the no shot command. Okay, done. Another configuration is that the connection from router 3 to router 4. So router 3 to router 4 is interface gigabit 001. Okay, and the IP address is 30.30.30. Sorry, IP address is 30.30.30.1 255.255.255.252. Issue the no shot command, and that's already completed for router number 3. Okay, now let's move on to router number 4. Router number 4. There are two interfaces that we need to configure. This is gigabit 001, gigabit 000. Let's start with gigabit 000, and the IP address is coming from 192.168.3.0/27 network. So IP address is 192.168.3.1 255.255.255.224 and issue the no shot command, and that's up already. Going to the next interface, gigabit 001, and let's assign the IP address. This is IP address 30.30.30.2 and the subnet mask, and don't forget the no shot command, and that's complete. Okay, so how to verify that your topology is working? So from start pinging the default gateway, ping 192.168.0.1. As you can see, it's working. How about this router number 2 from PC number 3, ping 192.168.2.1. Oops, unreachable. How come? Let's troubleshoot. So 192.168. Oh, okay, I think we missed that one. This should be the correct default gateway. As you can see, it's working. And from PC5 to PC number 3, ping 192.168.2.1. So it's working as well. And PC number 7, ping is 192.168.3.1. And as you can see, it's working. So our local area network is working. So from our router number 1, we can do our test as well. So let me go to the privilege exec mode. I'll just ping the 10.10.10.2 network, this connection to router number 2, and as you can see, it's successful. How about I'll ping our PC number 1, ping 192.168.0.10, and as you can see, it's success. So why do we see a drop at the first attempt? This is what we call a address resolution or ARP request. So okay, that's why. But however, if we do our second attempt, they will all successful. Okay, so I believe that's all for our configuration. I hope you learned something, and let's connect all these computers when we meet again. So bye for now.